going on in Cleveland, Myles Garrett? Is everything all right?
Well, this guy. No thanks.
Is it January or February?
Boo-hoo, Garrett.
Hold on.
You mean Mr. Pout Pout?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Myles.
This guy would snap you in half with one hand and you in half with the other
and
hand.
I still wouldn't post an IG story like that crying.
Okay, well, maybe he just wants to let people know that he's also going through it over here. Okay, now, I didn't even think of it in real time because I don't think enough about the Cleveland Browns in my day-to-day life. I apologize for that. I need to do better.
You do
for the dog pound because I appreciate the Cleveland people. Okay, I do appreciate the Cleveland people. Miz has kind of introduced me to a genre of Browns fans that believe they're going to actually win a Super Bowl and actually have their lives depend upon it at this stage. So I feel bad for the Cleveland Browns fans. I do not think. I didn't even think, because the Schwartz thing was interesting. The defense coordinator Schwartz, who historic defense at home, even more so.
Mm-hmm.
Myles Garrett obviously gets a sack record. That's already in Canton in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Bill Belichick not, but this is certainly Myles Garrett's uniform is in Canton because it's a historic sack. But also at home, they didn't give up like a first down for like 5 weeks straight or something. Like I forget what the stat was. He has led a legendary defense over there in Cleveland, and obviously none of it really matters because they don't win enough games to be relevant. So it's just kind of out in a lost wasteland. So whenever they're doing the hiring of the head coach process, and there was like a quiz that had to be taken, there was some homework, and then there was also a qualifier that was like, Schwartz has to stay. So it sounds like everybody in the building was like, Schwartz is really good DC. We don't want to change anything over here. We just want to change the head coach and the offensive coordinator. So then whenever we hear they hired Todd Monken, I just go, okay, so they got Todd Monken on the offensive side, Schwartz on the defensive side. Feels like those two know the AFC North pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a good combo for Cleveland. So my immediate response is like, that's not a bad thing. And then immediately comes out, Schwartz is out, Schwartz is leaving. And then I see the entire place go, if we're going to hire an old coach, why would we not just hire the guy who's already in the building, who has relationships with all the players, who is leading a historic defense and understands what the entire, has been a head coach and fought other head coaches, which we like, by the way, if he's going to do that. Why wouldn't we just hire this old guy if we're going to hire an old guy? None of it makes sense. And I didn't even think of that reaction, especially if I would have known how hard I think Schwartz wanted the job. Feels like Schwartz really wanted that job. He wanted another crack at the apple. He had been a head coach before. It didn't work out perfectly. So now he's in a place that he knows has an incredible defense, which he can be about. And if he can hit or strike on the offensive side somehow, they can have a good team, especially with a lot of turnover in the AFC North right now. Mm-hmm. There's really opportunity for the Cleveland Browns. So I didn't know he was pushing as hard for the head coach. I thought he was sticking around on the defensive side. So then whenever it comes out like he wanted it, now he's out, he immediately becomes an incredibly hot commodity everywhere. And the Cleveland Browns people are now like, why'd we piss off the guy who was like maybe the best thing we had? And then Myles Garrett's on the internet saying, I'm on your guys' side. I don't know why we picked this our old white guy. We had the old white guy. I don't know what we're doing on the other side of the ball. And this follows a trend now, 2-year trend. So I don't know. I guess it's just back to back. It's not annual because annual would be a long time. Trend would be 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, beginning of an annual, you could say.
Yeah, we're at the beginning stages, potentially, until there is a resolution, which is either a Super Bowl for Cleveland, right? Because that was kind of his messaging, is that he wanted to win. He didn't want to just go to the Hall of Fame. He wanted to win a Super Bowl. Then they paid him $40 million a year, and he said, all right, they told me we could win here. We could win here. So then he is coming out and saying basically he was lied to. Like, hey, you were told we were going to be able to win. That's why I took the deal for $40 million, reset the entire market. I come back. Here we are again. They stink. They're not good. They fire their coach. He is obviously campaigning pretty good for Schwartz. He's obviously the best player in Cleveland and has been for a very long time. So although he's not a quarterback, he was certainly campaigning for one of the head coaching candidates. His guy doesn't get the job. Another guy, similar ilk, just other side of the field, gets the job. So I think he's warranted to potentially be a little bit upset. But I think a lot of people are saying, hey, when you took the check to stay in Cleveland, you signed up for all the shit that Cleveland's going to bring. And this is something that the Cleveland's going to bring. Allegedly, Haslam, the owner, went against the consultants and against his staff and said, I hear what you're saying. Give me Monken. So who knows if that is just a leak from the building to save face with Schwartz, which could certainly be the case because he probably has friends in that building that were saying like, hey, we're on your side. Then they go the other way. They would like it to be known like, hey, for Jim, we want him to know that we were on his side. And Haslam, the owner, went the other way. So now this is multiple decisions we've been told that Haslam has decided to go against what everybody else is saying and make decisions that could be to the detriment of his business and his team. But hey, That's Cleveland football, I think, is what everybody says. And Myles signed up for it, Tony. Is that how we need to be viewing this?
Yes, as far as Myles goes, he did the letter, last year. It was all we talked about for majority of Super Bowl week, and then he signed the deal. So it's like, hey, you've been there for how long? You know how this works with Cleveland. And then the best part, I'm not sure if you saw the report from Josina.
I saw it. Yeah,
They might have two head coaches, first time ever. Okay, OC, DC, co-head coaches. You know what? Why not? I think it's a great idea. I think they should definitely do that. I feel like that would be a great idea.
Okay, Tone, that is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I think what you were hearing is people trying to come up with resolutions, for the situation. And I don't know if anybody will ever do that, because if you got two coaches, I think you have no coaches, just like the quarterback situation, which they don't have. But there has been teams whose offense and defense just very much two different operating systems. Chicago Bears, I think, is the most noted one, right? As Buddy Ryan and Ditka just didn't get along.
Hated each other.
Yeah, in the two sides, and they went on to do special things together. And I'm not saying these two would hate each other, but I think Schwartz potentially would not necessarily like being second fill. I'm second head. I'm the co. I don't know how that goes, but hey, there's 32 jobs or 64.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
If you get co-head coaches.
Not?
The other thing would potentially be if they do this, Cardinals can't have a head coach this year because there can only be 32 head coaches in the NFL. Browns get 2 of them. Cardinals can't have one.
That'd be crazy if the Browns were the team that did that to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Cardinals would have to really look themselves in the eye.
Yeah, they would.
And that's like whenever your UConn coach goes to like North Texas, Colorado State.
There it is.
That's tough for UConn. That is very tough for UConn. But obviously, not everybody understands what's going on out there at Colorado State, Coach. We apologize for that potential slight, but that's not a normal transact. Go ahead.
Well, just with this whole entire thing with Myles Garrett, I'm not so sure he didn't schedule this IG post and tweet last year. I'm not sure if at the Super Bowl he was like, you know what?
Good point.
Now that I'm here and doing all this, I know I'm going to get my money. I know I'm still going to be a Cleveland Brown. I'm going to schedule this for 2026 so that inevitably when this happens again, I'll still be right in the pocket.
Tennessee Titans have $101 million in free agency.
A lot of money.
With Salah and Dayball. Are they potentially going to try to trade for an upset, miserable Myles Garrett out of Cleveland?
Interesting.
Is Myles Garrett going to work his way out of Cleveland because he's not happy with current head coaching hire? Because even though he campaigned for one of the candidates, another candidate got the job. Does Myles Garrett feel disrespected in Cleveland? Does Myles Garrett potentially want out of Cleveland?
How could they? They carried him off the field to end the season.
I think it's dead.
That'd be a great way to go.
They won their Super Bowl.
His dead cap's got to be.
It's got to be
historic.
100. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
$100 million.
Is there any chance that the NFL steps in and says, you know what, Jimmy? Sell the team. We're going to take this from you. Because you're not even trying to win. You act like you know what you're doing. You clearly don't.
What if it's a good hire?
There's a chance.
They got a Pro Bowl quarterback.
They do have a Pro Bowl quarterback, and that would be his response. Oh, I don't know. Do Pro Bowl quarterbacks grow on trees? I drafted that guy. But, like, if you're Andrew Berry, like, how do you go into work the day after where it's like, hey, I've spent 4 months trying to tell you what we need to do here, and you're listening and just kind of giving me the runaround, and then on the very last day, be like, I hear you. I appreciate you doing all the legwork. Shut up. You're wrong. We're going to do what I want to do. I'm going to get this guy.
You remember that quarterback contract we gave out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, you actually.
I'm not so sure that wasn't your idea.
Okay, well, you're the one who told me to do that, right?
It's
And you're
my
like,
get
whoa,
back.
whoa. I made an offer. They said no good. They actually eliminated us from it. And then remember, you came in and said $230 million fully guaranteed. And I said, we cannot do that. That'll not be good for our team. And you said $230 million guaranteed. Feels like you do that to me a lot, is what Andrew Berry potentially says.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Stefanski leaves the Browns organization.
Tried to. Was actively coaching to get fired. I think anybody, if you were to cut on the tape, which we all have, if you were to look at that Brown season, you could make the argument that Stefanski was trying to get fired, and that's why they drafted 2 quarterbacks. That's where it all started. Stefanski was like, "I'm gonna draft 2 rookie quarterbacks." Actually,
what's worse than 1 rookie quarterback?
2 of them, and we're gonna have Flacco. and we're going to trade Flacco
In the
division, and then we're going to have our first rookie quarterback go. Well, he's going to get hurt, and we're going to say, no, you're not playing anymore. We're going to start our other rookie quarterback. Everyone's going to hate
With no practice. They didn't even let him practice.
Yeah, which was ridiculous, but everyone's going to hate it. And then, lo and behold, I am now the head coach of the offense that has Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and possibly Kyle Pitts. So, yeah, it worked out for Stefanski pretty damn well.
It was crazy he got hired that fast. I mean, honestly, and Matt Ryan did the hiring, so I respect Matt Ryan's opinion. He'll be joining us next week at Super Bowl Radio
Nice.
Row. I believe on Thursday, Matt Ryan will be joining us next Thursday. Can't wait to catch up with him, how he got to Stefanski. Because I don't know Stefanski that well. I just didn't expect him to be Bell a ball, basically, as soon as he leaves Cleveland like he was. I assumed he would have to go back offensive coordinate somewhere, be an OC, take a year like that and all that. And then instead, I see him walking out of the dog pound right into the bird's nest down there. And for the Falcons, it was like day of them. It's like, wow, he landed on his feet pretty good.
Yeah,
it felt like.
I think that kind of proves and shows you what the NFL thinks of the Cleveland Browns in that organization. And a lot of Browns fans I saw yesterday think that because Jimmy Haslam was a minority owner for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that he's actually a sleeper agent owner for the Browns. And he's actively trying to ruin them.
Okay. See, that's not, the Browns fans don't deserve any of this.
Yeah.
The Browns
They
fans don't
don't.
deserve any of this.